Russ dropped a new album this week called Chomp 2. He did Chomp 1. That was actually when we were in Colorado, I remember, because it dropped that week before. We were playing in the car when Zoe was driving around and shit. Do you remember that? We were like driving to the mall and stuff, and we were playing in the car. But it just came out that week before, which was like that was about a year and a half ago. But anyway, Chomp 2 came out. Basically, he put all the best rappers on there that he could.
Yeah. I mean, best features that you could really get of spitters, you know. Yeah. Other than maybe like one or two people that are active.
But really, like all the people we really enjoy
that we fuck with that are active. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has Ransom on there, Papoose, Westside Gun, Styles P, Big Crit, J Electronica, most importantly, Big Sean, Conway the Machine, Lloyd Banks, Sci-Hi the Prince. Bunch of killers on there. You know?
So where do we want to start? Let's do. We went out of our way. We wanted to pick our 3 favorite features. So
should we get an overview or do you want
to? No,
go
save the overview for the end.
That?
Let's do the favorite verses. If we want to do a Russ verse, favorite song, and then we do the overview at the end.
Okay.
Typically how we do it.
All right.
So let's do 3 to 1. We'll go back and forth. I have my 3 to 1. You want to go first or me?
You go first.
Okay. So my number 3. I'm going to go with, I think there's a lot of great verses. It was kind of hard for pick. Even when I told him a couple of days ago, I've kind of gone back and forth a little bit just on the take, but I've came up with my take. But I'm going to go with number 3. I'm going to go Ransom, and that's on the song. It's the second song in the album. It's called Blue Chip, Russ featuring Ransom. But yeah, Ransom's going to be number 3 for me.
Oh, we're doing from features.
Yeah.
Features. Oh, this isn't top 3 songs?
No.
Okay. So number 3, mine would be Conway the Machine on Distance.
Okay.
That would be my number 3
Conway
spot.
the Machine. Yeah, we're doing our 3 favorite verses.
Yeah, features. Yeah.
So, okay. Number 2, I'm going to do it's a song called Nothing New. It's Russ featuring The Game. And originally I was going to do this number 1. But then I went back and I was like, I have an obligation to put number 1. Who I got to put number 1? So my second favorite verse is I Like the Game on Nothing New.
Okay. I mean, that was mine, but I'm going to go with Big Crit on Free. First off, I love
Game
Big
was
Crit.
yours too on there?
Huh? Yeah.
He went hard, huh?
He went hard as
that
fuck.
shit was ridiculous.
Yeah. Nah, he went hard.
He even sounded like Biggie at first. He was calling out all the nerd rappers.
Yeah, and then
he said if it's not Jay-Z.
Like, Russ, do you think I'm going to let you kill me on your own song? Yeah.
And I think that might be Russ's best verse too on that song.
That song's hard.
That's hilarious. I didn't think you'd have that on there, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you nerd rappers. If it's not Jay-Z and Nas. He's like, I got girls around, everyone toting guns. I can't even play it. That shit was hard, bro.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Big Crit. First off, I love Big Crit, and I don't think there's a spitter that sounds as unique as Big. I just love Big Crit, you know.
Well, and he went out of his way on that verse to say how he's independent now. I'm not doing the chucking and jiving, table dancing. Like, that shit was hard.
Big Crit is hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for who he is as a rapper, you know.
And
Big Crit, I don't get excited much for rappers, and every new project Big Crit puts out, every feature I get super excited.
When was the last one? I mean now
a while.
But now I think he took him a while to get off his label, and now he's officially independent. So the next album, but I feel like the last album.
The last feature. There's one song I listen to almost daily is that feature he did on the My Song Trade the Truth album. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Somebody Pray For Me. Pray For Me. That song. He has the feature on that he murders, but
Okay, so he had an album, A Style Not Quite Free. Did this slip under the radar?
Huh?
August 13th, 2021. Which would have been just like 3-4 months ago.
I don't want to get off my page.
Okay. This is 2021 multi-alumni LLC under exclusive license to BMG Rights Management. So that looked like that was still half partnership. So maybe that was his last album. Now he's officially independent. But yeah, I like that Big Crit verse too. So let's not get sidetracked.
Yeah.
And then number 1, I thought I was just gonna do my favorite song, but then I was like, I have a responsibility that anytime J Electronica raps, that I have to shout him out, especially on my own podcast. So number 1 verse is a Russ song called "Top of the World," and it's featuring J Electronica. Again, J Electronica, it's almost I don't want to say like a Bible verse, but it's almost like a Bible verse every single
time he spits.
Every time he spits. It's literally light versus dark, and that's all life is really about anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and he's the best at doing that, too.
He's incredible, bro.
Yeah. And that's the same for mine, too.
J Electronica number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I said, it's just something special. No one else raps like that. So shout out to J Electronica. If you don't know about J Electronica, do your research. He's pound for pound my favorite rapper of all time. We went and saw him live. He was like walking through the crowd with us. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
But shout out to J Electronica.
That's crazy that we got to see him live, huh?
J Electronica, Game. And what was your third?
My third was Conway the Machine on Distance.
Machine,
yeah.
I just okay.
Yeah, so mine, should we just go down again? My 3 was Conway the Machine. My 2nd was Big Crit on, which song was that?
It's called Free.
Yeah, Big Crit on Free. And then my number 1 is same as Vinny, Top of the World, Jay Electronica.
Okay. Did you want to do top 3 songs or?
Yeah, well, I thought that's what we were doing. I mean, it's pretty similar, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go different though.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll go.
I'll start this one since
go.
you started the last one. My number 3 is Hustler Freestyle, just by Russ. There's no feature on there. I like that song a lot.
Which one was it? Hustler Freestyle.
Hustler Freestyle.
So you went up. You went on. You did that one. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with. What's number 3?
Yeah.
We're doing 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of similar. Like I said, some of the songs, but I'll go with number 3 because you know what? I did like even Snoop Dogg's verse on it, and I really like the instrumentation on Free. So I'm gonna do number 3 as Free as well. Is that what you said was number 3?
And I went with Hustler Freestyle,
Okay,
but
I'm gonna do number 3, Free, featuring Big Crit, Snoop Dogg, DJ Premier. Like Snoop Dogg knew he was getting on a rapper album too. I even liked his verse on it, so I'm going number 3, Free.
Okay, number 2, which is kind of hard for me. I like Jadakiss's verse a lot. I actually just like the instrument. I like the instrumental a lot too. So I'm gonna go with Faith on Russ Jadakiss will be my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 favorite song. I really like the Blue Chip featuring Ransom song. I like the Russ featuring. I really, whoever made that beat knew Ransom was getting on it. Like it was set up for. Honestly, Russ's verse is incredible, and it was set up for Ransom to come on there. I could just tell him like the instrumentation of the sound. They're like, oh, Ransom's about to get on this. So, my second favorite song is Blue Chip featuring Ransom.
Okay, and my number 1 is gonna be Nothing New, The Game, and Russ. Yeah, I mean the song's incredibly hard, and it's super competitive too. Super competitive, and the game's talking his shit at the end
the
too.
Whole
time, but he literally's talking shit. Like, Russ, you think I'm gonna let you kill me?
He said, "Ask Drake what I did Labor Day weekend." Who knows what that was?
Yeah,
some fucking orgy party, but
some crazy shit.
And he said, basically, he said Demi Lovato's reason she stayed out of rehab. Like that shit was hard.
Yeah.
Game was
shout out to
bad.
The Game.
Yeah, shout out to The Game. When games like that, and like I said, he shouted a lot of Jay-Z and Nas in there. He even sounded like Biggie in one part of it for like 12 or 16 bars.
He murdered that.
He sounded like Biggie for a second. He's good at that. He did that with Nipsey too. He sounded like Nipsey, and yeah, he's good at
But he
was just gritty and hard on there too.
I mean, his last album was amazing too. Shout out to The Game, which he claimed was his last album, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, and then Jay Electronica, Top of the World.
Well, let me do number 1.
Okay.
I'm doing number 1. I'm doing Top of the World featuring Jay Electronica. Like I said, I have a responsibility because not enough people know who Jay Electronica is, and it's like there was a song that Jay Electronica had. My first son Hendrix, I used to play to put him to sleep, literally like a fucking lullaby. I used to play Better in Tune with the Infinite, which is one of Jay Electronica's. I'd have to go through and get through a top 3, but I know it's one of the top 3 best Jay Electronica songs.
Probably one of the best
all
songs
time
ever.
It's an incredible song. Better in Tune with the Infinite. You should check it out. But anyway, it's like I said, it's my responsibility. I almost told him I wasn't going to put him on some of the list because he's like a cheat code, but then I was like, nah, I have a duty to put Jay Electronica. So Top of the World featuring Jay Electronica is number 1.
Yeah, I mean that's probably my number 1 too, but I don't want to just run with you.
Yeah.
And then all right,
let's do our overall just
I mean,
which we do on all these, and we always kind of get into a don't know where to put them just because, but let's try.
Yeah.
So let's start here.
Okay.
Is this better than Joel Ortiz?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I couldn't ask for more from a rap album.
Yeah.
Especially with the feature. Like, I don't have a skip. Oh, yeah, you said that you had, like, one, you want to do worst song.
No, we don't have to kill it on here. If you don't. I mean, if we had to pick a worst song?
Yeah. Mine would probably be Note to Self, to be honest. With
me too.
Joey Badass,
sure.
Wale, and
because Wale can't rap, so I don't know. Like, anytime I've never been like, oh, I love that Wale song ever.
I don't know why too. Like, maybe because I listen to a lot of Big Sean because of his album and stuff. But for some reason, it's just
I'm off. He's partying too much. I think he bought, not Marilyn Manson, but it's someone like that. One of those people, or Leonard Skinner, or I don't know.
It's hard when you go from like Papoose, Ransom. Yeah. Fucking Big Crit, Jay Electronica, when Ghostface Killer. I mean, like the Conway the Machine. I mean, Lloyd Banks. Fuck. I mean, going from all these killers and then hearing Big Sean and
I'm gonna be honest
Joey
with you,
Badass.
When I first did it, and I told myself these are the top 3, I'm not gonna change it. I had Papoose on there, But Papoose had some bar on there that was like fucking some ridiculous shit. He's like, I can't even say it, but he said, I'm not Schwarzenegger, I'm a Schwartz, it said the N-word, but that shit was hard, dog. I don't know, Papoose was in his bag. Originally, that was going to be my top 3, Ransom, Game, and Papoose, but I had to put Jay Electronica on there, so. But
yeah, that would probably be my least favorite. Honestly, but still, it's not even that bad. Yeah. I mean, there's not a single skip. I can play this album over and over, and I know this will live in my Spotify for a long time.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, probably Sheep, the first one. Even though I like him calling out Sheep, because I like to call out Sheep.
You don't like that song?
It's aight. If I had to pick one, it's
really?
aight. Yeah, like I start on Blue Chip.
Okay.
And again, maybe not. Maybe, and you know what? I could have been anxious to hear the features. Maybe that was why, and it was the first one.
No, I like that song.
You like it?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I played this album maybe 8-9 times already. This album's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Very only skip really is when I hear the Big Sean verse, and I even like Big Sean. That's not even dissing him, but just when you hear all this grit, it's kind of hard to listen to the calm, introspective.
And I'll be honest, I love Side of the Prince. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I didn't really like that song that much, to be completely honest. But maybe I'm like a real, I hold Side of the Prince to a really, really high standard. So
I like Lloyd Banks' verse.
Yeah.
On Get It. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, like I was saying, I couldn't ask for more. I can ask for better features. Russ murdered it.
1 out of 10. What's the number? You know what? I was almost thinking maybe at some point we should do 1 out of 20. Gives us a little bit more room. But I guess we can do the 0.5s. So okay. So 1 out of 10. What is it?
I'm scared to give it too high is the thing, but I couldn't ask for more. Yeah.
I'll go 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that's about what it's at.
What was missing from the album that would have made it better? I mean, you had your favorite rapper on there. A lot of your favorite rappers. A lot of the things that
since we've been doing this on the podcast and stuff, it's going to come back to that thing.
Of longevity?
Longevity and how much will I go back to the songs and for how long. And that's where we'll get into it deeply in the next week on the next pod when we do our album reviews. But that's important. And the one thing about this, as much as it is the rappity stuff, right? They're all in that rappity, like Conway, for example. A lot of it was like drug addiction stuff and like that was on pills or whatever it was. Like, so it was a lot of that rappity street stuff, which sounds good when you're trying to rap hard, but doesn't mean I'm going to always go back to it.
There's a lot of gems.
So I guess it would be like musicaltation, if that's the thing. It's a rappity rap, but and that's like I said, and that's where I'll be.
Are you saying like the contents of the verses? Because there's a lot of content in the verses.
Yeah, but it's still like grown man rappity rap shit.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I'll go back 4 months later and listen to it. There'll be another grown man rappity rap shit that replaces it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Unlike a Jay Electronica verse where it's timeless.
So what did you give Joel Ortiz?
I think I 7.5.
Really? So you put them about even?
They're about even.
Really?
Yeah, they're about even.
Even with all these features.
Because Joel Ortiz did it by himself.
Yeah.
And made it cool.
Okay,
So it's yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I mean, me personally, I know for sure. I mean, I already go back. I mean, Russ was my biggest. You were clowning me because Russ was, I think, my number 1 artist on my Spotify year-to-date thing, And I know I'll go back and play. Like, I know for sure that Jay Electronica song will live for me for a year.
Yeah.
I know the Big Crit song will live for me for a year. I mean, Bucket Hat Low with Papoose, West Side Gun, Salute. This album was going to live with me, I know for a fact. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
8.5, yeah. I literally couldn't ask for more.
Is it making your top 5 next week?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But yeah, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Shout out to Russ. Like, literally, when I think of artists, I'm always like, fuck, I wish they would just get all these features, And it's really all these guys, I always think, like, Royce the 5'9", like, fuck. Imagine if he got all these features. All my favorite rappers, and Russ did it,
Yeah, he did.
And he killed every verse. Russ didn't miss on a single song, So, shout out to Russ. Shout out to Chomp too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. You give it a 7.5. I'm gonna give it 7.5.
But I really enjoyed the album. I really did. It was
I mean, we're trying to be a little bit harder on the albums. We don't want to just give 9s and 10s away, but it's really solid. It's a really solid album. So.
And I think we'll be able to next week to execute it. We'll be able to talk about some of the album numbers and because we've done them over throughout the year and had to not take back, but they've got adjusted. So we'll see next week. We'll get really deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
But
cool. All right. So Russ Chomp 2.
That's a Russ Chomp 2 album review. Check it out. We also did a Russ LA Leakers freestyle reaction if you want to check that out on our YouTube channel. So shout out to Russ.